Okay. Good morning to everyone. I would like to speak on a very old place in Wynberg, which was used by 95% of the people of Wynberg. That is the old wash house that used to be in Betts Road, Wynberg. I would like to speak on this because it was one of the areas that was most used by the people to earn a living. This wash house was situated in Betts Road, from the corner of Mars and Betts Road, about 4 houses away. There was a huge, big wall, and behind the wall was a beautiful structure, like in the old brick building, like a hall, like a big, massive, big hall, wherein there was rows and rows of water basins, and rows and rows of ironing boards where the people used to do the ironing and washing. Then coming from the front in to the building, there was a big gate. You had to go into the gate, and there was a road leading, a gravel road leading up to the entrance of this big hall. It was also lined with fruit trees and flowers growing both sides of this road, the pathway. When you came to the door, you will go into the office where you sort of book your day. They will take your money and your entrance fee, and you would go to your wash basin, this granite wash basin, and there you would make yourself comfortable for your day of washing. When you were finished, you used to go to the back of the yard, which there was a big, huge pieces of lawn where you could bleach all your washing. Now, the reason for me taking up this, I don't see any photos, any books, and any writings up to today about this washer that was here for many years. I think it started 1929. Because it was built on the estate of the late Mr. Betts, and it was known as the Betts Estate. And on that estate was known as Rust and Werk, or Werk and Rust. That was the name of the place. Name was given to that place. So from there, people used to come, especially at that time, it was up in Wynberg, we used to have the old military camp, and from there, people used to bring their washing, the European people used to come and bring their washing down for these ladies to do the washing for them. From there, they earned their livelihood. They could feed their families from there, from coming in from that money. Now, it was very strange to hear these people's stories, and to the way they used to talk to the European people. They were mostly colored people, of course, that worked there, and the language they used was something out of this world, because it was a mixture of Dutch and a mixture of English. It was something so wonderful to hear them speak, and they converse with the European people. And, people had to come there and spend the whole day to do all their washing, to do the ironing, and to do all the bleaching outside. It was something wonderful to see. I think at 5 o'clock, when they used to come out and they used to have the big bundles of washing on their heads, it was a scene of its own to see. There's one part of Wynberg which was a very a big help for the people of that time to earn a living. Then I would also like to speak about the property that I'm staying in at the moment. I'm staying in a property which belongs to the Ryklief family of Wynberg. Now, that property used to be a trading post for for fish, for the fish industry. On that property, on that property, the fish trucks used to come in the morning, bringing their wares, their catch for the day, and in the yard, cars will be waiting for them to offload onto their carts and take it out to the people in the area. And that was sold from door to door. This was also a way of earning money. Also, it's later sorted into a big fishing industry. And this was also there, was also stable there, and it was kept there. The carts were stored there, and from there they used to go out in the morning to do their offloading at their houses. This was also a way of feeding the people in the area. This area showed me true north. This here is a railway line coming from Cape Town to Simonstown. Okay. Then this road here is known as Brian's Road. Brian's Road goes into Bristol Road. Okay. This here shows where the grave of Mr. Betts used to be the tombstone of Mr. Betts. This area here was known as Betts Estate. This is Betts Road, and where this road comes in, here were two semis which is still there, was built very late on. Then next to that was another two set of semis which was now made into a single house. Then it goes further down. Next to this, the second batch of semis was an old wash house. Then next to the wash house, there used to be the abattoir, Wynberg abattoir was used to be there. And next to that was the animal pound, where they used to put the strayed animals. This area here was property which was bought, which was transferred on the 31st of January 1875 to a Mr. Meadows. And then it was transferred to Carl Brenda on the 12th of December 1875. After that, it was transferred, the council took over, and I think it could have been in 1929 when the old wash house was first built. Okay. And Betts Road, on the corner of Mars and Betts Road. Here we have Betts Road with the two semis and the second two semis on that side here. Now this semi here, these two semis here were now changed into a single building. This over here is part of the building, and that is the wall which formed the wall which was around the old wash house. Then this here shows where the old grave of Mr. Betts was. This is the actual grave of Mr. Betts. This was taken away, and the plaque was placed in the place of this building, which was demolished and taken away. If you can get into the writing, can you? Yeah, that is the actual area where this wash house used to be. Okay. I would like to speak on Wynberg, especially an area at number 20 Park Road, Wynberg. That area, that house was used, the yard of the house was used as a trading post for fish. Somebody in the late 40s, early 40s, I would say, that yard was used, as I say, as a trading post for fish. During those days, there were no supermarkets, and the housewife used to depend on the fish on the Tuesday morning, she would depend on the horse cart, fruit and vegetable hawkers to come to the house and deliver their wares. Now, this house, the yard of this number 20 Park Road was then used as a trading post. And the big trucks used to bring the fish and into the yard, and that was offloaded onto the smaller horse and carts, the walkers. They used to buy those fish from there, and they used to take it to the housewife for them to use. The people were, at that time, people weren't, they weren't, like I said, there was no supermarkets. They had to depend on that. And from there, every Monday, they used to get their fish supply. Then there were many of these little trading posts in Wynberg. Especially, I would say, there's one in Berry Road, which was also used by the Ryklief family, Abdurrahman Ryklief. He had a yard like that where the fish was also brought in, crayfish, all types of fish was brought in. It was made into little bundles and then put onto the horse and cart and then taken out to the rounds. Then there was one also in Beggar Road where the Mohammeds traded. There was one in Sussex Road with the late Ibrahim Mohammed, who was a ship chandler. At the time he supplied the ships with fish. And this was that was actually the income of the poorer type of people at that time, and to supply the lower income group. And this was really appreciated during that time because people weren't, mostly people of Wynberg, which was people of color at that time. It was known as colored at that time. And these were the people that that depended on the horse and cart. Yeah, I will show you a few pictures. Okay, you got it? That was the old. That was the old stables in Park Road. This is the way the stables are now. This was the late Mr. Ismail Ryklief, who owned the property and who did all the selling. This is Mr. Ryklief's son, Ibrahim Ryklief, who was one of the fish hawkers. Okay? Fine, thanks. Thank you very much.